Autobots, transform!
What's up, Master Universe fans? What's up, Masters? Hey, what is up, Master of the Universe fans? Thank you for joining me for another toy review, another Master of the Universe Giants review. And in front of me, I have Master of the Universe vintage style giant man-at-arms. He is sealed in this packaging, and I went through most of the stories. If you saw my He-Man review about the pricing behind this guy, I got this guy for like $19 off Walmart.com, and he's been through a lot since I had him. I'm glad I bought two because this one actually has some water damage on the back where it got wet in my basement, and then it was dropped, and then the toe broke, but it's still in the package. So I'm going to try to get the toe glued back on there. So here is Man-at-Arms in this giant packaging. These are my hands. This is how big it is, and this is how tall the card is. On top of him, you almost fit an entire another figure up there. So it is in the very vintage classic style packaging with the rock burst explosion, some impact or something on Eternia. It says Man-at-Arms at the top, figure twist for a power punch. Has Mattel down here at the bottom. And again, Man-at-Arms inside the bubble blister packaging with a little dimple just like the vintage figures. Coming around to the back of the box, and he has the vintage cell artwork on the back of He-Man, Stratos, Zodak, Man-at-Arms, Teela, Skeletor, Beastman, Merman, and they've changed this. If you remember, he wasn't a good guy till the cartoon came along. He was an evil cosmic enforcer. Now it just says cosmic enforcer, but he used to say evil cosmic enforcer. I used to always think of this guy like as a Boba Fett bounty hunter type dude, but now they've evolved to adapt the cartoon persona. But man, it looks good seeing this vintage style painted artwork back there. The paint on the weaponry, the detail. I really love the back of this box. And anyway, here is Man-at-Arms, and I'm going to get him open and reviewed. So those of you who don't know my channel, please bear with me for my unboxing. It's part of my channel. It's my theme. I'm the guy that unboxes his toys live on camera. I know it wastes video. Some people have complained about it. It's what I do. And if you don't like it, I'm pretty sure there are other videos of this toy up right now as we speak. Well, I don't even know why I'm trying to reserve the packaging. I'm just doing it as part of my theme. Slide Man-at-Arms out of the side. There is Man-at-Arms. Is he able to stand out of with the stuff still on him? Nope. Him laid out. Now I need to retrieve the toe. So I'm going to put some glue on this toe and go from here. So before I get this fixed, I want to show you it's inside the bubble and protected by this secondary layer, and it fell off my shelf and actually broke. So I don't know if maybe it's just a freak accident or it just speaks to the quality or durability of the product. It fell maybe about 4 or 5 feet, almost as like best guess at my chest level. You see the ding in the package, and it broke off in the package. I only just noticed it when I got it to review it, but I remember it falling. By the way, I'm by no means blaming what happened on the manufacturer. It fell. I just want you to know what can happen if you drop it from like maybe a standing distance. And that was inside the packaging. So anyway, on with the review and on with the unboxing of Man-at-Arms Duncan. Okay, got this guy out of the package, and his only weapon is his mace, which the original toy design of this thing, and they never actually made it, but it was meant to, this ball comes out, and it's supposed to be on a chain, and he would swing it, and it would like come back into there. It was an original concept thing that never actually happened. So anyway, here's Man-at-Arms out of the packaging, and his armor is a lot softer than the vintage toys armor, and you can see it. You can tell how it's like warped in this packaging when you see it. Face looks a lot like the vintage toy, which it should. Man, it's like it's a little bland. They could have added a little something to it. That's just these black dots for his eyes and these mean scowling eyebrows. So taking a look at the back of the figure. closely resembles the back of his armor. This part is a little tight in here. Back here, the vintage ones had a little bit more room. And he only has the one notch. You really can't adjust it. That armor is there and staying there. It has like fake simulated notches here. Same thing on the armor on the arm. And it is a softer plastic too. And so is the one leg armor, which is riding up a little bit. So he's all of 12 inches tall. He can hold his mace. His rigid mace. And it's got like buttons on it for like techie things where it can do like other stuff. It's supposed to do other stuff. Take a look at his armor, little detailing in there. The circuitry. I guess some type of breathing apparatus with the ventilation coming up to his faceplate. And he retains the power punch, which is not so powerful. I already made fun of it on my He-Man review. It's not 1983 anymore, but it's still in there. Like maybe over time, if it loosened up, it could function a little bit better. And then coming down to his legs, he has the little nylon joints in there with the notches in here that allow his legs to stabilize a little bit better. So over time, he will not collapse and fall on his face. Even though as most adult collectors, I'm not going to play with it that much anyway, where it's going to fall over on his face. But it was still considered anyway. So anyway, his articulation, his head will 360. It's not going up or down. It's just like the vintage figure. And the only articulation on his arm is at the shoulder where it 360s. And I just showed his legs. You can pull them out of the nylon joint. And you can move them all around and back. And then lock them back into place. Which is very, very cool. There is no such thing as a boot cut. Even though it was put together on that little hinge. That's not happening. I don't even think you need it on this figure. They're meant to just be displayed and look badass, and you pick them up and you can kind of, yeah, you can do that with your man-at-arms. And that's pretty much all there is to this guy. There's no paint going on really except for his helmet with the little circuitry on there. The helmet is painted blue over his skin tone of his face. The hair is also painted blue, just like on the vintage figure. They didn't bother painting his hair. This is hair, just like the vintage figure, sticking out the side. So they didn't even bother correcting that. I got a little bit of orange trickle right here, but they didn't bother painting the hair at all. So you could choose whether or not he's a redhead like his brother Fisto, or whether or not he's a brunette. Whatever you want to do with that, but the hair is sticking out. But that's the only paint, and the paint on his eyes and his eyebrows. The rest of it is either orange plastic or green plastic. Well, the loincloth is a red plastic, just like the boots. It's not painted either, and the belt is painted a blue. And surprisingly enough, the belt does not match the helmet, which is like, wow. Maybe it's not meant to. But anyway, you can pick this guy up on BigBadToyStore.com on the pre-order. I think it's $39.99. On that site, they got what was left of Mattel stock. I guess they bought those guys out to sell it on BigBadToyStore.com. It's on pre-order right now. It should be available pretty soon for purchase. I believe it says first quarter, or it might even say February. And in case anybody was wondering, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the head is very, very hard. It's not soft and squishy like the vintage figures. The armor is soft and squishy, but the head is not. It's very hard. Okay, so if you chose to, you can remove Man-at-Arms armor just like the vintage figure. Or maybe a little bit harder than the vintage figure, but it can be done. Trust me, it can be done. Alright, you remove that. It's kind of soft, so it's a little bit harder to work with. Hope I can get it back on. Push that in. It should come out. Unstrap this. Armor is removable. Armor is removable. And you can get the leg armor off and have him completely down to his Royal Guard green suit. I guess it is. And there's Man-at-Arms looking like the Incredible Hulk. Okay, let's get some toy comparison going on with Man-at-Arms. Here he is with vintage 1984 Optimus Prime, and you can see he towers over this guy. Optimus out of there. And let's get the Filmation 6-inch Men-at-Arms. And you can see he towers over this guy. And this guy is meant to be a take on the very first 1983 vintage figure, not the classics figure, which is now the Filmation figure right here in front of me. And here he is next to the Star Wars 3 3/4 TIE Fighter. And oh yeah, a very, very random ass toy comparison. And last but not least, here he is with fellow giant, previously reviewed He-Man, side by side. So yeah, if you're going to pre-order this figure off Big Bag, I could recommend it at the $39.99. Anything over that, he's really not worth it. I know he's basically just a display piece, or some of you might want to get him for your kids, or you might be a kid that might want to collect it. So he's pretty cool, he's solid, he's well made, the paint is good. And I am George, 80s Transformer fan, and you just watched a review where this toy has its own story.
Autobots, transform!